Fanatic.com brought to you by Big Dog Tech Solutions. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. Just bit down on some hard candy, Doc. Also brought to you by Streets Maintenance, Remodeling and Plumbing. The Oxyokin and the Amanas, Premier Automotive in North Liberty. Senior Benefits. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Suple's Flowers, home of 1-800-800-ROSE. GT Carr and his great crew at Suple's Building and Remodeling. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. Steve Anderson from Hawkeye Title and Settlement. And Patrick Eads, his son Tyler, and everyone at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Here's Tom Suter, along with Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
Yes, yeah, beautiful day, huh?
It's going to be a nice weekend, a really nice weekend.
Because there have been Memorial Day weekends that were really crappy.
No, this is going to be nice. We could have a couple sprinkles here and there throughout but nothing amounting to anything in those storms or anything like that. If if there is a little rain, it'll be isolated.
Well, that's cool.
So, yeah.
So, Pat, did you stay up till midnight last night to watch the Iowa-Indiana game?
I did not.
I made it through half of it.
It's longer than I did.
I made it through 4.5 innings, and then I said, nope, I am done.
I mean, the game didn't mean anything.
It didn't, and it was pretty clear Iowa wasn't going to be winning the game, and I said, I'm done.
Yeah,
it smells in here.
What does it smell of? It's probably something.
I was going to say slow death and ass, but I'm not.
Well,
I mean,
he had Hunter cook some vegetables.
Oh, okay.
The vegetables sting to you?
Well, these ones
sometimes.
These ones. What, do you nuke them?
I have. Yeah, of course. We don't have.
You don't have any other.
Yeah.
That explains it. Like gushy Brussels sprouts.
Yes, only maybe not Brussels sprouts, but yeah, you got the idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we have a call?
Yes, we do. Hello.
Hello. The game ended exactly at 12 midnight.
Yeah, that's when Iowa tweeted the score.
Well, so you stayed up that late, Karen?
Oh, I'm a night person. I always stay up late.
Do you know, I couldn't sleep last night, so I was up most of the night. I watched it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, well, it's a good thing it doesn't count.
Yeah.
But then we didn't have our best pitchers in there either.
We didn't, and our hitters didn't do much.
Well, that was.
And they had their best pitcher in there.
I mean, pitching wasn't the reason Iowa lost.
No.
They didn't hit anything.
They didn't score any runs. Doesn't matter who you have pitching if you don't score.
But then also,
wasn't it 5-0?
Gilly is a good pitcher of theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, he pitched a great game. What I saw.
Yeah.
They play UCLA tomorrow at 6.
And then they had that Taylor or whatever his name is who hit the home run.
Yeah, he's a good player, the left fielder.
Yeah, they talked with him afterwards.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't
so
like this.
So anyway, I don't know what we're going to do against UCLA. Maybe we're saving everything up for them. Who knows?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Because we didn't fire a lot of shots last night.
Yep, that's true. Well, anyway, you guys have a good day.
You too,
Thanks, Karen.
Okay, bye.
So Sugar Ray's going over.
Over.
Leaves this afternoon.
Oh, to Omaha?
Uh-huh.
Have fun.
He is a huge baseball fan. Huge. Mm-hmm. Goes down to see Kansas City a lot. And
it might be easy to see him in the stands because I haven't seen a game where it looks like there's more than 50 people in the stands.
God, last night there was almost nobody.
Well,
I mean, I get why, but
9 o'clock start for a game that really means nothing for one of the teams. I can see that would be a tough sell. My guess is they'll have, but if let's say the championship's Oregon versus UCLA, you think there's going to be a lot of people in the stands?
Not at all.
There won't. It'll be empty, and that very well could happen. Iowa plays UCLA tomorrow at approximately 6, and we'll see. I mean, UCLA is the number 2 seed, but when I've watched them play, they don't look as good as Oregon. They do have the player. They do have the player of the year in the conference. Good hitter. And so we'll see. I mean, Iowa's going to have to beat good teams. They got to win 2 more games, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
If they win 2 more games, they're in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And they've got 35 wins, and the miserable end of the regular season will be forgotten, and then you just go on. But that's 2 big ifs.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. That's assumed. I mean, Oregon has not clinched their pool yet, have they?
Well, is Penn State still alive?
Penn State has advanced.
They won, right? They've won 2 games.
They have advanced.
Yeah,
yes.
they're the surprise team, and they've got 33 or 34 wins now. They're having a pretty good year. I mean, they really are. And they have a second-year head coach who's really made an impact there. They're coming on. Their starting center fielder is a transfer from LSU who went back home to Pennsylvania. My guess is he's getting a lot of NIL money, and he's really produced for them. So Penn State's an interesting – that's who Oregon plays, right?
No, Oregon's playing Nebraska today.
I can't keep – see, this is what I don't understand. Okay, Iowa is already advanced because they won as a higher seed their first game, right?
It means that, well – Rutgers, if by Iowa beating Rutgers, we with the higher seed
got an automatic to
berth.
the semifinal.
That's right.
And then I just don't get this pool play
It's
stuff.
stupid.
It's stupid. It really is. I know Rick I heard an interview with Rick trying to explain the advantages. It gives everybody a fair shot, but I don't know. I mean,
I don't love it.
I don't.
I'll be honest.
I really don't either. So you got Iowa is still alive. UCLA is still alive. Nebraska, Penn State, Oregon, and UCLA. Is that?
Yes.
There's 6 teams still alive. Playing for 4 spots.
3, 4, 5 teams still alive.
5 teams still alive.
Iowa, UCLA, Penn State, Nebraska, Oregon.
Okay. And Nebraska, what are they? 1-1 or are they 2? Penn State's 2-0.
Penn State has won their pool. Nebraska's in the same pool with Oregon, and that pool has not been decided yet.
Because Oregon's only played 1 game, right?
And Nebraska has only played 1 game.
Okay, well, Oregon won, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why didn't Oregon automatically advance to the semis with its 1 victory as a higher seed like Iowa did?
Because both teams are undefeated currently. And Nebraska, if they beat Oregon, will win the pool. With a 2-0 record, Oregon will have a 1-1 record.
It's just weird.
I agree.
It doesn't make any sense. Hopefully they change this because to play that game last night at 9 o'clock with no real purpose for Iowa besides getting reps and getting to play the game you love, to me, it was ridiculous.
Well, and Washington and USC play today for nothing.
I guess for them, you could both argue they're trying to make the NCAA tournament, and they're on the bubble. I mean, they got way higher RPIs than Iowa. Yep. I think Iowa's RPI was 73 as of yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's losing 5-0 to Indiana.
But winning wouldn't have helped. Somebody asked,
not much.
Somebody's like, this will be huge for their RPI. No, it won't. Beating Indiana wouldn't have done much. It wouldn't have hurt their RPI, but luckily they made it through with no injuries. Now they get a day now they're over there for a day, and they don't play. I find that weird, too. You're having a baseball tournament, beautiful weather, it's a Friday, and you're just not playing?
And you're not playing.
It just is stupid.
And one of the 2 games today is for nothing in this tournament because both teams have been eliminated.
It's ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So, there you go.
Yeah, it gives you something to watch.
Gives you something to bitch about.
Yeah. Hello.
And I'm bitching right now.
Hello.
Yeah, this pool stuff, I don't understand.
Well, you're not going to get the answers here.
But we played Indiana last night.
Yeah. And we lost to Indiana last night. But it didn't matter because we had already clinched the pool.
So hopefully they let the backup players play.
Well, they
didn't They didn't pitch. Savory didn't pitch, did he?
No.
But they did play. Like Gable Mitchell played, Caleb Wolf played, and what have you. But no, they didn't use their number 2 pitcher. They're saving him for tomorrow night. Aaron Savory.
Oh, yeah.
So it's different, and I am not impressed with the pool.
No,
setup.
I'm not either.
Who dreamed this crap up?
I have no idea.
A whole group of
Big Ten representatives,
muckety mucks,
brain trusts, all making 6 figures, with great health insurance and great retirement plans.
Yes.
Yeah, they ain't got nobody in the stands.
Hot young wives.
Yep. tree-lined homes in the suburbs.
Massive retirement accounts.
Yep. They're the ones who came up with this plan.
Yeah, I've driven by Omaha, but I never. Did they used to call it Sec Taylor Stadium, or
that's Des Moines?
No, that was Des Moines.
Principal Park. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll flock in for the NCAA's, won't they?
Who's they?
The World Series.
Oh, you mean when they have the series? Yeah, there'll be more people at the College World
hope
Series
so.
than the Big Ten tournament. Yes,
yes,
there will be more.
Yeah.
Say something.
Oh, Captain. I know you're all looking at each other.
Okay, goodbye. Jesus Christ.
Why did you end that?
Because he don't.
Why can't there be some silence? Have you ever heard that song by Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence? It's actually a good song.
Or the really old song, Silence is Golden.
I haven't heard that one. How about The Sound of Silence? That's depressing.
That was a sound of silence.
That was depressing.
Excuse me.
You're not going to answer? Are you afraid to answer this?
I'm afraid to come in here in the morning. Hello.
Well, if Paul doesn't understand it, there's no way the rest of us are going to.
No, that's harsh.
If who?
Paul.
Oh, okay, Paul. Yeah. No, like I said, well, I think we understand the pool.
Yeah, I just don't think it's good.
It's just
Yeah.
not. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, it worked out beautifully for Iowa, but
Well, yeah, I mean, it really did.
you know, if I were Indiana, I'd say, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if the roles were reversed right now, we'd be bitching about that.
Of course we would.
Yeah, we would. I would be too. I'd be saying this is ridiculous. Why should Iowa have to deal with this? They just shut out. Yeah, but it is what it is. So hopefully Iowa can take advantage of it. I mean, they've got a golden opportunity right, and I'm glad they're playing UCLA instead of Oregon.
Yeah,
right now.
me too.
Because I just don't think UCLA is as good. And I watch them come out and just boat race them. But no, I think Iowa's going to. I think they're going to play well tomorrow.
Now, there is still the possibility that Nebraska, basically playing at home, could beat Oregon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's baseball. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Oregon struggled yesterday was it Michigan State that they were in a
yes.
I looked at it was 2-2. Like baseball's a weird sport, man. It's not like the other two where usually the better team wins. Baseball it doesn't always happen that way, especially if you have. I still think Iowa's a better baseball team than Indiana, but Indiana's pitcher was on, and Iowa didn't throw their best available pitcher.
They only scored 3 runs against us in our series.
Yeah.
You know, and that's domination.
But it shows you how much
by
one
Iowa.
person in position can
Yeah.
influence a game. Now, I was lucky they held on to beat Rutgers.
For
I
sure.
mean, I got a little complacent and stopped watching a little bit when it was 4-0. I turned. I'm like, Jesus, it's 4-3. They were lucky they won that game.
Yeah.
But they did. They found a way to do it. So now you play on. But I just think it's weird that they're over. I'm guessing the weather in Omaha today is beautiful too, right? Since the rain seems
Nice.
they're over there and they're just not. Doesn't it seem weird to have a day off at a tournament? I know you could say they do that at the NCAA basketball tournament, but that's different. I just think it's weird they're not playing. But
Well, how about something else that's weird? 4 games played yesterday and only 2 played today.
yeah, and one of those games played yesterday started at 9:06.
9 at night.
Yeah, I don't get
And
it.
then one of the 2 games today doesn't matter for the tournament. It's strange.
It's almost like it's almost like today doesn't really matter. It's just, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. I'm predicting they won't do pool play next year. We're not the only ones bitching.
No, I don't like it.
It just doesn't make sense. And I don't know why you can't just have a normal tournament. Just don't make it double elimination. Then you can get it done.
Yeah.
Do it like the softball teams do it.
Yeah.
You know, actually, there's going to be rain in Omaha today.
Oh, really?
This afternoon, rain.
What percentage?
60%.
Oh, that's 60%.
That's pretty solid.
So maybe it'll work out better.
Well, that's why they moved Iowa to yesterday because
of possible rain today?
That's right.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes sense. I wasn't. Okay, wait. Somebody did tell me that they were doing that. Instead of having 3 games today, they were concerned about whether they could get them in because of weather. And we're not getting any of that coming this way?
No.
That's
Hello.
weird.
Hey guys, it's Sam.
Hey.
So It was funny hearing the Iowa coach in that interview he did earlier this week mention it. They were following the model the ACC used.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, the ACC abandoned it. They got away from the classic, or whatever you want to call it. They're doing.
Did they really?
With the Big Ten, and went back to a single elimination tournament. All 16 teams get in.
That's it.
Hello.
Top four.
Yeah, top four get a bye.
Of course, we have 18 teams. That might make it a little more bizarre.
Yeah,
17. Sorry.
Exactly. So they do it so the top 4 seeds get are automatically in the quarterfinals.
Uh-huh.
So you play them. Well, Cal, who had to play on the West Coast, they played a 9 a.m. Eastern game in Durham and beat 10-run Miami on Tuesday, and then played another 9 a.m. Eastern game and won again. Now they did get eliminated in their third game against top seed Georgia Tech, but it's just crazy how Rick said, well, the ACC does this, and they thought it was a good model, and the ACC said, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're going to a single elimination.
Yeah, it's a model that doesn't like World Cup do that.
I guess
do the same model,
possibly, which I don't follow. But,
and no, I don't follow.
But I'm
it
guessing
either,
they're going to do that. Maybe they will do 16, and the last place team doesn't get in.
That makes
maybe that's the
sense to
price
me.
you pay. If you're the last place team, you don't get in.
I think that's
and
okay.
It gives you some value to the the regular season that you got to play your way into it that way.
Yeah.
At the same time, gives you a chance if you go on a heater, like Cal was going. It looked like Cal was going. You actually have a better chance of improving your chance in the NCAA getting a bid.
It takes winning. It would take
the ACC, which is going to get 10 teams in probably. So
it would take winning 4 games in 4 days, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday would be. It's the logical thing to do, and one team doesn't get in.
And Sam, don't we all love those logical matchups of California being in the Atlantic Coast Conference?
The All Coast Conference, you mean? That's what we're going to call it now, the All Coast Conference.
Oh, I like it.
So,
I like it.
Yeah, it is so strange to have Stanford and Cal out here, and we pretty much don't talk about them.
Yeah.
It's odd enough that the Big East hangers on that we got with Syracuse and Boston College and Virginia Tech. It is such a strange world we live in now.
How about Central Florida in the Big 12? You like that?
Or West Virginia in the Big 12.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, it would have made so much more sense. But West Virginia, ACC.
Creighton's in the Big East.
Yes,
I mean, you can go on down the list.
Yes.
There's tons of these.
Right.
So true.
Anyway, have a great weekend, boys.
Hey, you too, Sam.
Sam?
Yes?
Thanks for talking.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. What is it? We'll get on those Facebook groups and talk about dead air. Let's do that again this weekend, Steve.
All right.
Good plan.
Bye.
Awkward silence. I call it awkward silence.
I'll put it on a timer next time. So
this was one of the longer ones.
How long do you think it should go before
I think awkward silence starts at about, let me see, about maybe 4 or 5 seconds. I think when you get into like the 10 and 11 seconds, then it's bizarre silence, and that's where we were headed until you nipped it.
No, we were at 9.
But
seconds.
you cut it you nipped it in the bud. You didn't let it.
I think it starts getting uncomfortable around 4 or 5.
But see, that's where the joy
now
for me.
I'm putting it on a timer.
See, when the uncomfortable stage hits, that's when I'm comfortable. That's when I enjoy it.
Okay, but I'm going to put it on a timer. I will give him a handicap and say 6 seconds silence and then goodbye.
So what causes the silence? Is it him waiting for us or us waiting for him?
Us waiting for him.
But maybe he's waiting for us.
But he's the caller.
Yeah, that's too bad.
See, he's the caller, so he needs to say what's on his mind
He's
not call.
He's the root of this. He's the connection right there.
Yeah, you're the connection.
I'm the problem. Well, why not?
6 seconds and then goodbye.
Are you going to have like an egg timer?
I got a timer on the board here.
Does it have an alarm on it?
It doesn't have an alarm.
Well, that'd be kind of cool, though.
So 6 seconds and just one call. Those are the rules.
Yeah.
He's used his call today.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
If he calls back today, it's instant hang up.
Yes.
Maybe with an insult before.
An insult.
An insult before hanging up.
An insult.
Oh, we do have Kalen Walker. We're calling him at 10 o'clock, the fastest man in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And you call him that, too.
That's going to go for him, too.
What if he just comes on and doesn't say anything? I mean, we got like 15. No, he matches the amount of time it took him to run, 10.17 seconds. That's how much awkward silence we would have. But no, this was one of the longer cases of awkward silence, I would say. I thought he was going to come back with something. He didn't really have a purpose for his call today.
No, not really.
Didn't really have a purpose. Just called with no purpose.
I don't know. I don't mean to be mean.
Well, he was piggybacking our criticism of pool play. I think he agreed.
And fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand it either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just is.
I understand it. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah, I think it's dumb, and it just doesn't make any sense. And I like the fact that they play in home. I get it, but to play in those big empty stadiums also just takes something away from me. I'd almost rather have it played on the campus of the universities, and whichever team wins the regular season title, they get to host for winning it. Now, I know a lot of people wouldn't like that, and I get it, but at least there'd be some environment. The stadiums would be more full because they wouldn't be as big, but some of those games, it's literally almost empty in there.
Or the top 4 seeds get to host
Or something,
something
to try to get a little bit more energy in the stadium. For the Big Ten tournament, I know the College World Series, it's always rocking in there. But some of those games yesterday, I mean, you could hear people belch.
I mean, especially our game was just
like I said,
ridiculous.
I made it through a couple. I'm like, I looked up and it was after 10, and I'm like, I got stuff to do. And if I waited till the game ends, waited for Iowa, I'm guessing Iowa didn't send anything till probably 1:30, 2 in the morning. I just posted it when I woke up this morning, because it was too late.
No, it is too late.
It was just too late.
I'll tell you when they send something.
Because I know the game ended right at midnight, because that's when Iowa tweeted the final score. Yeah, because you get the same thing sent to you guys that we do.
Yeah.
11:25.
Well, it couldn't have been the
No,
game.
it couldn't have been.
No. I'm reading the wrong.
They sent it before the game.
I'm reading the wrong thing. 1:25. I got something.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll give them credit. They got something within an hour and a half, but still, it was 1:30 in the morning. You think people were up waiting to read about a 5-0 loss that meant nothing?
I did not sleep, and I am seeing double.
I'll bet.
I am. Hello.
Hello. I actually I thought I reset my Alexa because I was listening to you on when that dead airspace was. I thought the station had dropped.
It had dropped, just not literally, figuratively.
That was. I was confused there.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
You guys have a good day.
Thanks. Well, that tells you right there that it was too long.
That awkward. That
Yes, that was too long.
That my interest in awkward silence is misguided. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it confuses our audience.
It confuses me.
So is it up
I
to
would
the
not
next time
understand.
this happens? Is it up to me to? Hey, Paul, you going to say something? What's up? What you call in for? You want me to do that the next time?
I don't care.
You just want to hang up on him.
Well,
I think that's your new energy.
no, I'm going to time it to 6 seconds, and if nothing happens,
What if this is him?
goodbye. I'm hanging up because he had his one call. It's
Okay.
just like if you were in jail. He gave you one call. Hello.
Hi, I had a question. If you guys could share a little insight on how the sites for Big Ten championships and these tournaments are selected. So, for example, obviously in football, we choose Indianapolis pretty much every year. And baseball, it seems to be Omaha. And is that basically because of the venues, or do they is it like a few-year contract and then they revisit it?
Well, I know it revisits, but it's venue and location for a big part of it. And now that the Big Ten is coast to coast, Indianapolis and Nebraska are pretty much right smack in the middle.
yeah.
And teams like Iowa benefit because we're not that far from where they are, but it's a lot of its location.
So is track, is that going to be at Oregon because of the venue itself?
That is there because of the venue and the tradition, the weather, and everything. And yeah, that is not geography, of course.
Am I correct in remembering in wrestling it kind of goes city to city? Depending
Yeah,
on
wrestling
the year?
changes. It's been in Cleveland. It's been Philadelphia. It moves. It's been in St. Louis. It goes all over the place.
Okay. And then a little bit of change of subject. Pat, I know we're in the time of the year where things start to slow down. So I was curious, do you have any particular plans for stories as things slow down, to the stories that you're planning on writing over the summer? Or anything?
Well, I mean, yeah, the thing is, things do slow down, but with the transfer portal and recruiting, nothing ever really does slow down. Like today, we have a story. Rob Howe talked to Ashton Williamson, the recent basketball edition, and we've got a story up on him, his comments and why he picked Iowa. So you'll see stuff like that. And during the summer week, maybe we'll do different features, columns, what have you. But the portal's changed everything. It's never off season anymore. It's always something. It seems like somebody's either coming or going, and what have you. And then, of course, like today, we have a story up on Tania Davis and.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Iowa did basically. They just said she left to pursue other coaching opportunities, and from her end, we're hearing that she's not going to comment on anything until something becomes official, which is fine. The whole thing, though, just is
something's weird. Isn't right.
Something's weird, and if Iowa, I can't force Iowa's going to say what their statement was, that she's left to pursue other coaching opportunities.
And but she was been off the rolls for
3
weeks.
I think there was. Have we answered all your questions, sir, before I start going off on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you bet. But the thing with Tania, there was speculation she was going with Raina Harmon. I mean, it was tweeted. There was anything ever official, but it was tweeted. It was out there. So from what I can gather, and I'm not quoting anybody, I'm guessing that maybe Jan must have assumed that she was going to leave with Raina. Maybe Tania got down there, didn't like it or something. I don't know. But during that time, Jan had to get somebody, hired Lysandra. And I think getting Lysandra Barrett, also the fact that Chit Chat kind of came with her, made her maybe appealing. But still, something, I mean, we thought that we were going to talk to Tania yesterday. We reached out to her. She said everything. She said she's fine. Rob actually talked to her mom. But then they kind of went silent. And if they don't want to say anything to jeopardize it, I get it. We're not going. But all Iowa said was that she left to pursue other coaching opportunities. And fair enough. If that's Iowa's, that's fine. But to me, something still seems weird.
Well, it does to me too, because that line is a standard line that 90% of the universities use. Left to pursue other opportunities. Well, maybe.
Yeah, and that's really, if that's all they're going to say, that's all they're going to say.
Yes.
I mean, you can't. It's not like you can get them to say anything else. When it comes to employment and stuff, this stuff's pretty tight-lipped. A lot of rules on what you can and can't say. But someone with common sense is going to say, well, why didn't Tania get the Raina's job? Why didn't they move her up from? Because obviously, being a third assistant's higher up than being director of player development. That's what why didn't she get that job? What I'm saying, though, is maybe they thought she was going to go and be Raina's top assistant at Florida Gulf Coast, so Jan didn't. That's the only way I can explain it, is that maybe there was some lost in translation there, and then by the time Tania maybe realized she didn't want the Florida Gulf Coast job, it was too late because the Iowa job was filled.
Or maybe she wasn't offered a position at Florida Gulf Coast.
Well, I've heard that maybe she was, and that maybe she just didn't like it when she got down there. But don't quote me on that. I'm not writing that. I'm not. That's one of the things I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, I was just wondering if you could fill me in a little bit on the guard that Ben just signed.
Yeah, Ashton Williamson, 6'2", from Gary, Indiana, played at a prep school, and then prior to that, played at Sunrise Academy. Last year at Florida International, averaged about 7 points, just under 3 assists, made about 28 threes. I mean, he's a guy that will give them depth.
Very athletic.
He's athletic. He can play point guard. I don't think he's going to come in and tear the league on fire anytime soon, but I think he's a nice piece. And actually, we've got a story up on Hawk Fanatic right now with quotes from him about why he chose Iowa and what he expects to do. So you can get on there and read it for free if you want. We just posted it this morning. But, yeah, he's a 6'2", combo guard, but who can play point guard, because they can't just have Bennett Sturts. He can't be their only point guard. He's going to need to have some time. He may have foul trouble. He may sprain his ankle. You just never know. So, no, this was something they needed, and Ben has said before, we need another point guard, and they got one.
And he has 3 years?
3 years, yes.
Mm-hmm. Any updates on a big man?
Not that nothing of substance yet. There's, of course, the search goes on. Haven't heard many names recently. But there wasn't much talk of Ashton Williamson either.
No.
Kind of just came out of nowhere.
There was a little bit of talk like 3 weeks ago.
But the connection, too, though, is he was at Sunrise Academy, and Ben has a connection there. He's real familiar with the stuff that goes on at Sunrise Academy, so I'm guessing that helped. So now they got 11 players. The roster, you get one more, and I think you've got yourself a –
Yep.
Then you got also Jacob Kutz staying. That would give them 13 with him as a walk-in. Then you pretty much got a roster. They need one more 6'7" to 6'10" guy.
And then you got to fit the pieces together.
Then you got to fit the pieces. But I can see Bennett Sturts at point guard, Brendan Housen at shooting guard, Manawa inside, along with Fulgaris. And then that fifth spot could either be Tavian Banks. I like him coming off the bench like he did at Drake. Could either be Cooper Koch. It could be a lot of different things. But I think you're starting to see. I think you're starting to see the lineup play out. I think those four. Phil Garris is going to start.
Oh yeah.
Bennett Sturts is obviously going to start. I don't think Brandon Housen's coming here to play 10. I think he's going to start.
Housen's
going to start. I think he will start. I think those four, and I think Cam Manaway is going to start. And Tavian Banks, and that would be 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". 6'4", 6'4". That's a decent sized lineup.
It is.
And they've got 3 or 4 good shooters there, so we'll see.
Yeah, I know there's still a lot of big men in the portal.
There are, but there are also a lot of big men that can't help them eat too, I think. I mean, there's not a lot of really prime quality ones left at this stage.
Yeah. So do you think they'll take one?
Yes, I think they'll get one more player at least.
And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, it may be really boring.
All right,
thanks. All right, thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks for the call.
I had a little Paul.
Coach McCollum was eating at Monica's yesterday while Jim was doing his show.
Yeah?
Did he come up and you should have interviewed him?
Yeah, he didn't come up. Yeah, well, we were interviewing someone else.
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
Still could have.
Yeah. Hunter blew him off. Hunter big-timed him.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yes. He said, "Hi, Coach." And
had no time for
nothing
you.
was said for 6 seconds, so he just blew him off.
So what did Coach McCollum have for lunch? Did we get the menu?
Was Hunter gawking at him?
I did not.
Invading his space?
Yeah.
I generally get the Megan Gustafson when I'm there.
That's good.
I had Sam's last night for the first time this 12-inch green pepper and sausage, and it was good.
Well, that sausage green pepper is a good combo.
And it did not make it to today. I ate it all. I was hungry. And 12-inch Sam's pizzas, that's not a ton.
No, it was real thin crust.
It was really thin last
I
night,
could
too,
eat
but
the
it was
whole
good.
damn thing, too.
14 inches, I struggle, but the 12-inch, that's easy to eat.
I forgot to eat last night. Seriously.
I never forget.
And then it was like 10:30, and I'm going, God, it's too late now. Well,
I rarely forget to eat.
I have never forgotten to eat in
I just started
8 decades or however the hell long I've
started
been.
watching The Fever, and
yeah, I didn't have The Fever on TV. I couldn't find it. It was not on my YouTube.
it was. I watched it on Amazon.
Yeah, see, I don't have Amazon. So, yeah, it was not on. But the next game's on CBS.
Can I imagine, Steve, that you had the transmission problems that I did as well?
With the game?
Yeah, about half of the second quarter.
Yeah,
it just blacked out.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Well,
and then had 5 minutes of commercials, and then
people are like, and then the people are going, "Oh, these guys are homers." Yeah, they are. It's the Atlanta.
It's their
feed.
feed.
It's their feed.
Totally have you ever listened to Dolph and Bobby and Dolph and Eddie, and now they're big homers too. That's what they're paid to be.
Yeah. So they were.
Can you imagine having your own just against you, like Dolph's just ripping everything Ferentz does.
They were trying their best to help Atlanta out.
What was the final? 81-76.
Yeah, I believe so.
Caitlin only had 11, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing sure 3-point shot was off.
She couldn't move. I
mean, that's what happens when you're a star
Yeah.
player. You get double teamed.
Yeah.
And Ryan Howard was absolutely holding her, grabbing her all night long.
Yeah.
And plus, she's a great defender.
And welcome to the world of she's Miss Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
They're doing to her what teams tried to do to Michael Jordan. And that shows you just how great Michael Jordan was.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan was so athletic. I mean, his athleticism helped him overcome so many double teams that had nothing to do with coaching or what execution. It was him just being a freakish athlete.
Well, and then people on social, and I'm watching Facebook, and people are on the Amazon page, and people are saying, why don't the refs make them get off of her? Well, because they're supposed to get on her.
They're defending her.
Yeah, I mean, it just.
But the nice thing is, though, if she's getting double teamed, somebody else is open. How many assists did she have?
6, 7, I think.
Okay, so 11, and how many rebounds?
Like 4 or 5.
So she had like 11, 7, and 4. That's still a pretty solid line.
No, for anybody else, it's a solid.
But I'm guessing she struggled from 3. I haven't seen. Like I said, I didn't
hit
see
a 3.
Okay,
it was the first time she didn't hit a 3.
Okay, so she missed all her threes. Let's say she would have just made 2 of those. That would have been another. She would have had 17 points. Sometimes the 3-point shot can be the reason. She's not going to average 30 points a game in the WNBA. It's just not going to happen.
And one of her threes was an air ball.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she has those. I mean, remember, guys, early last year, she had some games where she really struggled.
Yes, she did.
But they still won. And I saw her walking off the court last night, and they did a little thing. Hey, you couldn't. She showed no signs that she was upset that she didn't have her stat. She was just happy they won.
Yeah, Tosh Howard had a big game yesterday, and she sucked the last.
How about
game.
DeWanna Bonner?
Terrible.
Again.
Hello.
Hey guys, we watched all of the Fever games last year, and I can't remember any stadium that actually booed Caitlin. So it might say something about the growth of the WNBA. That, was the first time that when she missed the free throw shots that people started cheering for it. So, people are starting to maybe become fans of their own teams.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I think Caitlin would understand people cheering against her.
That's good.
That's good to hear. Yeah, the game needs to evolve. I mean, and not say be nasty or anything, but you want your team to beat Caitlin's team.
Well, yeah. But she still signed a lot of autographs.
She did. She also gave her shoes to They showed this young girl and her dad. The girl looked like she was maybe 6 or 7. She gave her shoes to this girl walking off the tunnel, off the court, and signed them. And the girl was oh my God, And that's what she can do. Who cares if she scored 11 points? They still won.
Yeah.
And she's going to have nights where she doesn't make threes.
No, and
she just is.
Yeah, and when she's out there, even her teammates, make a basket or something, she's routing the crowd.
But I still think they got to figure out ways to help her score in easier situations. Like I said, I keep harping on the mid-range game. That can't be just her doing that by herself. I think they got to help her more on offense to get more looks. She can't just be expected to make 4 to 7 threes from 30 feet every game. That's just unrealistic.
No, it is unrealistic, even for Caitlin.
And with Michael Jordan, and I keep bringing that comparison up because people will say that Caitlin's the Michael Jordan of the WNBA, or that's what she's ascending to be. Now, granted, completely different types of players. But Michael Jordan, all his points early on were these whirling dervish drives, but by the midway through his career, he was an incredible turnaround jump shooter. He didn't shoot a lot of threes, but he became a great perimeter shooter because it was less wear and tear on his body, and it's what defenses were willing to give him at that stage. See, that's why I think Caitlin needs to do something with her mid-range game and what have you, and she will. She's got time, but I just don't want her to have to go into every game thinking, man, I got to make 5 or 6 threes, or I'm not doing my part, because that's not the case. Those threes she made in that first, those were incredible. Those were incredible, but it was almost ridiculous that she had to take those. They were such hard shots.
No, I agree. Yeah. And she does, most of her shots are hard shots. She did have a couple of easy layups last night where she, saw the opening and took it.
And those hard shots are the reason she shoots 35% from three.
One ridiculous pass just across the court that was...
Well, yeah, I enjoy her passes amazing. More than her threes. I mean, a lot of people can shoot threes. Not a lot of people can pass the way she passes. But that was a big win for them. They did not want to be 1 and 2 because a lot of people have them, really pushing for a chance to win the whole thing this year. And now they're going to learn a little bit more about them. They play the Liberty tomorrow, right?
Yes, they do.
That's at noon on CBS?
Yes,
I'm going to park right in front of that TV watching.
Yeah, that's going to be it should be a tough game, though. That's a real tough game for them.
Aren't they the defending champ?
Yes.
Yeah, so no, this will be, I bet it's going to have a big rating, and it'll be fun to watch. Should we take a break?
Stewie and Sabrina Ionescu.
Oh, yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how many people, if they get over 3 million to watch.
Oh, it's on. I bet
I would get they do.
Yeah, I bet they do.
All right.
We'll take a break.
Back.
1,
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number, 1-800-800-ROSE, your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America for America event through June 2nd.
Shop Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
The Oxyoke Inn is ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with a passion that you've come to expect since 1940. Serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Reservations are easy at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke Inn.
In the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Tons of sunshine on tap as we head into the long weekend, with high temperatures every single day, flirting with 70. That starts today with mostly sunny skies, becoming partly sunny for Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Day. We stay dry, with rain chances holding off until late Monday and into Tuesday. And after that, temperatures return to the mid-70s. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. It's 60 degrees at our studios.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Brittany sounded pretty perky today.
Brittany does sound pretty perky. KCJJ.
Yeah.
I like Brittany. Yeah. All right. Let me take you through an exciting 14-second sequence in one of the basketball games last night. At the 7:28 mark, Angel Reese offensive rebound. At the 7:30 mark, Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese's layup. 7:32, Angel Reese offensive rebound. 7:33, Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese's 1-foot layup. 7:36, Angel Reese offensive rebound. 7:37, Angel Reese misses layup. 7:38, Angel Reese offensive rebound. 7:41, Angel Reese misses layup. 7:42, Angel Reese offensive rebound. 5 rebounds in 14 seconds and no points.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
She's a good rebounder.
Boy, she sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was that on the internet or something? How'd you find that?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was the sequence. I watched it.
Is that her haters like bringing that up on the internet? Because some people are obsessed with hating her, and I just don't.
It's
get
just she had a strange line, like 2.
Well, no, I know,
times.
but there's just people hovering, waiting for anything she does that they can try to. I don't get it.
I just thought it was an incredible
I'm not saying
sequence.
you, but it does seem like there are some people that are just
No, they are
obsessed with trying to find fault
some
in
of
whatever
it
she
is
does.
racial.
Yeah, so yeah, she's not a very good shooter. She's a great rebounder. And so, did she ever score in that sequence?
No, she only had 2 points the whole game.
How many rebounds?
I think 12.
Okay.
5 in 14 seconds.
Hello.
Hey guys, I wanted to comment on the Angel Reese rebound
Sure.
in 14.
Go ahead.
There's a new stat. It's not going to be called rebounds. It's going to be called me bounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. He got a kick of himself.
He did. Yeah. And Jonquel Jones, man, she is one tough cookie.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she is what you envision a WNBA center to be.
Uh-huh.
And that's she with the Liberty. Who does she play
Yeah.
for? Or she would.
Yeah,
So that's
she
who-
is.
So it'll be interesting to see how.
At least I think she is. Sabrina and Stewie. Yeah, I think Jonquel Jones is on their team.
Okay, and that's who the Fever plays tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be. It's going to be a fun game, like I said, and I love the noon tip-off on Saturday too. I think that.
Yeah,
I think that's a good time. Like I said, I loved it when the Iowa men or women play at noon on Saturday. I like noon on Saturday way better than noon on Sunday, don't you?
I do.
Because I like having Sundays off. I like having Sundays with no sports.
Well, I used to love going into the field house at those, noon or 1 o'clock starts. And those are great because you can do stuff in the morning, go to the game, and then you still have a lot of the afternoon ahead of you and your whole evening ahead of you.
Iowa did have more Saturday games this past season.
We did, didn't we?
I'm not sure why, because there were some stretches where where Iowa didn't hardly have any Saturday. They were playing Sundays at 5:30 and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
no,
I sure don't like those kind of games.
no, I don't like Sunday late afternoon games. Did you get him?
The only worst ones are the 8 o'clock starts on weeknights.
Those are bad.
God, I hate those.
Yeah, I've got.
Got Kalen?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Kalen.
Walker?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Hey, first off, we got Kalen Walker making his second appearance on the Hawk Fanatic Show. First of all, congratulations. I got to ask you, what's it feel like to be the fastest person in the Big Ten?
It feels really good. It's a lot of work that just got paid off. So,
well, I watched your race. Obviously, your start was
incredible.
Can you just kind of take us through the whole race?
yeah. I mean, it's a quick race, only like 10 seconds. So, there's not a whole lot to think about in that 10 seconds. I kind of just focused on what me and my coach talked about, and I think he did a great job preparing me for that moment. I just kind of just trusted myself. I just had one thing in my mind, and I was just having big open strides, something that I've struggled with. So just focusing on that, I felt like I was the best person in that race. So I was focusing on myself and just got it done, I guess.
So did you know you were leading? Like when you're running a race like that, do you know what your competitors are doing? Can you see it all?
No, I didn't see anybody that whole time. So I got out in first place, and I finished in first place. So.
And you saw one guy was coming at the end there, and I believe he was from USC, and I also believe he was the first one to congratulate you after. I thought it was pretty neat sportsmanship. But, yeah, there was one guy coming. Is that who you expected to be your toughest competition, or did you have any idea what to expect going into a race like that?
I knew, all those USC guys were going to be up there. I think they got, 3 of the top 5 guys in the country right now.
Yeah.
For, times. So I knew they were going to be good. that guy, he actually beat me in the prelims, so I knew that he was going to be in the running.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was just doing my best to focus on myself. I thought that I really did believe that I was the best athlete in that race, so I just felt like I just need to focus on myself and run my race. If I did that, I felt like nobody could beat me. So.
And, you know, anytime you're a Big Ten champion in anything is incredible, but to do it now with these 4 West Coast teams, what you accomplished to me is even more impressive. Have you ever taken time to think about that? It's more impressive what you've done under these circumstances because the 4 teams that joined the conference were all really good in track and field.
Yeah, it feels a lot. It feels like it's a lot more challenging. Just obviously because the times have been way faster than it ever has in the Big Ten. I mean, like if you just look at the times like this year just compared to like the last any year, honestly, it's just ridiculous how fast it is. I mean, like so I'm like 7th place in the Big Ten right now. If you look at the marks, it's ridiculous. Like I would have been first place any other year for like all time, you know, so it's crazy how fast the Big Ten is this year. So, yeah, it is very, very satisfying to end out on top.
So, Kalen, how much faster do you think you can run?
I think I got a lot left in the tank. So this is only like my 4th race of the year, like all year long. So normally guys have ran like an indoor season. They've been running since December. I just ran my first race like a month ago. So I feel really fresh. I feel like I'm still building up. And I feel like I'm still building towards something big.
So what would it mean to win the NCAA title in the 100 meters? Because obviously that's your goal.
Yeah, it is. And I think there's some good guys in the SEC. I think it's probably going to take something close to like 9.92, 9.93. Wow. I think I have that in my tank. We had some pretty bad conditions. I've only been running in bad conditions lately, and you know those southern schools, they got 80 degrees and sunny every day, so it's hard to tell like where I stack up, but I believe that I'm in the running for a national title, so I'm just gonna trust that and just keep listening to Coach Woody.
So the NCAAs, they're in Oregon every year, right? Somebody called in earlier today because the other sports, they kind of rotate sometimes. So the NCAAs are always in Oregon, right?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Do you guys like that? Do you like having it in one place, or would you rather have it, move around the country? Or do you like knowing where it's going to be?
I don't mind. I like traveling around. I don't mind that Nationals is there because it's just a crazy atmosphere, and it's just by far the best stadium in the country.
So it makes sense.
So, yeah.
The last time we had you on, I know you're a senior now, right? You've got this outdoor season left, right? Do you have anything left beyond this?
So I have another year next year. I have a full year next year.
Oh, you do have a full year.
Yep.
Obviously you plan on using that, I assume.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and then the last time we had you on, you said that, when you're done with college, you might entertain the idea of playing football. Is that something you're still thinking of?
I'm just trying to focus on, running for the Hawks right now. But, I'm not against that.
Because obviously with your speed, you're gonna turn. And you did play. I mean, you've played the sport before. So, okay, so you've got a full. I don't know why I thought this was your last year. Was that something that you was granted recently, or has that always been the case and I was just wrong?
I knew I had an outdoor season left, but then I sat out this indoor due to a little injury I had. So now I have a full year now. So.
Okay, so you've got a lot of time left to build on this legacy. Obviously, your goal is to break 10 seconds, right? I know you said that, and you're close. What would that mean to get below 10 seconds?
It would feel really good. It would feel a lot better if I won the race. So that's the big thing. But I felt like I've been able to do it for a while. It's just a matter of just the conditions lining up. Just the thing about the 100 is just the conditions just matter so much, and you having good conditions is the difference between you running 10.2 and 9.9.
Okay.
So when everything lines up, I think if I execute my race and we have good weather, I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
So, Kalen, looking down the line a little bit, then how do you feel your chances are to maybe make the Olympic team in the future?
I think it's a really good chance. I feel like I'm going to be in a good position. That's going to be, I'll be like 26 years old. That's going to be my prime.
Sure.
I feel like the way I live my life, the way I train is more efficient than anybody else. I think I'm learning faster than anybody in the world right now. I think I got a great coach with me too. So I'm just going to do my best. I think I have a pretty good shot. So.
All right.
And when I watch that race, it's amazing. You talk about, like, the conditions. Obviously, is wind the biggest condition that you always have to prepare for?
The wind, yeah. Also, like, just the temperature.
Okay.
So your muscles are a lot looser, and they contract a lot faster if it's warmer.
Okay.
So it was like 50-something degrees in Oregon, and that's just not ideal. Your muscles move a lot slower when it's colder. You can think about when you, like, walk outside in the middle of winter, and it just feels really cold. You just can't really, like, it doesn't feel free. And then once you go out in the middle of the summer, it just feels like you want to go do a bunch of stuff. It's like the energy, the muscles, just so much looser in warm weather.
Sure.
So that's another one.
The other thing I noticed from watching, there was a great angle of your race at the Big Tens. It was from the finish line. I was amazed at how straight of a line you ran. I was looking for the space to the left, because you got to stay in your lane, what have you. But compared to some of the other runners, you kind of just stayed on that. How important is that? Because to me, it just seems like you're getting from point A to point B quicker because you're not
deviating.
You're not deviating from that line. Yeah, that's a good word. How important is that?
It's pretty important. It's not something that I even focused on. It happened that way. But yeah, like you said, like, it's a shorter distance. You just run straight. So it's important for sure. I know some people focus on that.
And you knew you got off to a good start, right? Could you tell, right, man? Because you exploded out of that block. You were in front just right at the beginning. Could you tell? Yep, this is going good. Or is your mind even thinking like that?
Really. So that wasn't even a great start for me. Like,
really?
I had a good start. Actually, my start in the prelim was better. I know that, like, nobody can touch my start right now. There's not one person in the NCAA that can touch my start.
Okay.
So the one thing that I struggle with is my, like, back half of my race, just making sure I finish well. So that's the only thing I was focusing on. I wasn't focused on anything else. I was just letting my start be my start. I was reacting to the gun, and then I was focused on getting into my top end speed and just finding that rhythm. Just every single time I'm going to start out in first, as to whether I can finish in first. So.
No, it was impressive how you were able to just sustain that lead. I mean, that kid was coming down the stretch, but I got to ask you, with your start, you've been clocked. What did you run the 40 in at the Kinnick? And I would imagine you would, if the NCAA had a 40-yard dash, would you feel pretty confident about your chances of winning that?
Yeah, I think I ran it in 4:15.
I think, yeah.
And if they had that race, nobody's touching me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, if you ever went to the NFL Combine, you'd have a chance to break that record too. Because 40-yard dash means so much in football, but it doesn't mean anything in track and field. You find that weird, Tom?
It is.
I mean,
weird.
that there is no. Is that strange that there is no 40-yard dash race in track?
It is strange because like most of the races, like the top end speed guys, like the taller guys, they have time to get caught back up. So there's not really an event for, like, acceleration,
exactly,
strictly. So yeah, it is kind of, like, weird in that aspect, and I have to definitely work on a lot of other things to be good at the 60 and the 100 as well. But it just makes it more fun for me. It's more challenging, and it just shows that there's a lot of ways to win.
Sure.
So I think it's honestly exciting seeing me pop out and then try to hold on.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I enjoyed watching that race, and knowing that you won the race made it even more enjoyable too. But it was fun. So what is your schedule now? I mean, what are you working on this week? What are you working on? Just kind of take us through what you're going through now.
So pretty much, like, since school's done now, it's pretty chill.
Okay.
We have practice in the afternoon. Today is going to be our hard day, so not hard, but, like, this is going to be our high day. It's what we call it. It's, like, high intensity. Mm-hmm. So we're going to probably do, like, block starts and then, like, handoffs or whatever. But really, it's really light. It's very low stress. A big thing for us is having low stress, letting your body, recover at its best. we're just kind of trying to maintain what we have.
Okay.
Trying to just bring our best performances to the track on race day and just feel good. We're not trying to get any faster right now. We're just trying to show people what we got.
Okay. Well, Kalen,
you certainly did that,
yeah,
Kalen.
we appreciate you coming on. We're so excited for your success and want to wish you good luck the rest of the season. We'll have you on again sometime. And, Tom, anything else?
Nope. We appreciate your time, and we're really proud of you, proud of your effort, and keep it going, man. You got it going on.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
No, that was... I enjoy talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
What he's doing.
Good kid.
What he's doing is incredible, and I wanted to ask him about that 40-yard dash because after 40 yards he was destroying that field.
Yeah.
And he did run a 4.15 at Kinnick. And what was it that somebody said? God, I've never seen anyone run that fast at Kinnick Stadium since Tim DeWhite or something like that. It was pretty funny. That's even faster than Tim DeWhite. But no, he's quite a story. And
he's a fast dude.
He's got a chance. Obviously, it's probably safer to take the field.
Yeah.
But he's got a chance. He's got a fighter's chance to win a 100-meter title. But, yeah, he said the SEC's probably got like 5 or 6. They're so deep in all those types of sports. But you can't take away. He's a Big Ten champion in the 100 meters, and that doesn't happen very often at Iowa.
No, it doesn't.
Especially in that event. So and I appreciate John Leo for helping to arrange that interview. John's the voice of the baseball team, so he did this while he's over there, and appreciate that. We just couldn't get him to come on Wednesday. There was a scheduling conflict, but that's fine. I'm not sure if we're going to have a consistent Wednesday guest now that school's out. And with the sport, and in another couple of weeks, there's not going to be. We're basically getting into the summer. There won't be any sports going on, but we will. I'll still try to get guests as much as we can. And
well, maybe we can get some of the new recruits coming in. Maybe get Addy Deal.
The problem with that though is they usually don't. They usually make them available to everybody at a press conference, so we all have the same first shot to interview them. Like what they're going to do with the new bad, like Fulgaris and those guys, my guess is they'll make those guys available in June, and we'll all go over there and interview them, as opposed to letting like one radio station or one TV have and I get that. It's kind of fair treatment for everyone. You'll all get your first shot to interview. I can ask, but my guess is they're going to say, well, no, Addy will be available this summer when we have all the freshmen. They'll invite us to practice, and we'll be able to talk to them. So, but yeah, they kind of try to make it fair that way, and I get that, So, but yeah, I'm guessing we'll get some of the new football players this summer, and we'll get basketball players. They usually do at least one thing in June and one thing in July.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was fun having Lucy on last year.
Yeah.
She was such a fun
Yeah, we had Lucy on shortly after she had committed, and she wasn't at Iowa yet, remember? She wasn't. We got her before she had, actually came out here. And I know the Register did a couple stories recently on, like, guys – like that guy from Purdue, the D-back who's transferred. They interviewed them before they got here. Because once they get here, you have to go through Iowa to try to interview them. And usually Iowa's going to say, well, we're going to make them all available to you guys at the same time, which I respect that. That's they're not showing favoritism or anything. And
I like favoritism.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you like it when it favors your beliefs.
When it favors
what if it goes against what you stand for?
Then they could go to hell.
You don't like all forms of favoritism.
No, just us.
Just stuff that favors you.
Yes.
Okay.
He's very consistent about
that.
Oh, I know.
I've never tried to hide it.
You're very transparent. But yeah, that was a fun interview. But no, we do have a story up. Rob did talk to Ashton Williamson. I haven't read it yet. I'll read it when I
haven't either, and I want to.
But yeah, he's got some stuff from him. And did you see that the Rivals site is shutting down? Hawkeye Beacon
got bought by On3.
Well, yeah, On3 bought out Rivals, and now the Rivals people are basically just going to do recruiting, but On3 already had.
Who's Rivals? Who's writing?
That would be
what's an Elliot?
Hawkeye Beacon, Elliot Clough, and that Adam Jacoby. But yeah, no,
it's been around a long time.
2.5 years.
I thought longer. Wow.
Well, Rivals has been around, but it's under that setup for 2.5. Because remember, Kakert and those guys left Rivals for On3 2.5. Yep. But I remember Rob and those guys who are more familiar with those. I've never worked for those recruiting. I remember them saying there's no way 3 can coexist in the Iowa market. And Rivals was probably the one that had the longest shot. And I'll tell you, Elliott works hard, man. I've read, he was a hard worker. He'll land on his feet somewhere. I mean, if I had more money to offer, I'd give him opportunity, but there's only so much you can do. And we've already got, Rob does plenty of recruiting for us. There's only, there's only...
You can only hire so many people.
Plus, you can only have so many people covering the same stuff, too.
Yes.
There was lots of times when Elliott would have the same thing as Blair and Bah. Yeah. They'd have the exact same stuff over and over and over. And the market can only hold so much of that. But, yeah, the guy that started Rivals, his name is Shannon Terry. He's like a multi-millionaire. And he basically started Rivals, sold it to Yahoo. He started 247, sold it to somebody, and then he started On3. He basically starts companies, sells them, and then starts new ones. He basically started all three of the, and he's worth millions.
And Caker used to be with Rivals then.
Well, yeah, Caker is with Rivals, but then Rivals was bought out by On3, and so now Caker, he basically does the exact same thing. He just does it under the label of On3. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and so now you have On3 and 247, but you don't have Rivals.
But is it still the Wild West on the message board?
I haven't been on a message board in years.
Is it still the Wild West? You mean as far as a bunch of idiots that have no idea what they're talking about, acting like they know what they're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, well, that's social media.
And it's probably the same idiots that were doing it 10 and 15 years ago.
And then some new young stuff coming in that is every bit as clueless.
Yeah, I mean, I have not, and no knock on Tom. I haven't been on his message board in years. I just have no interest. I
just wondered if they ran it the same way.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. I used to get ripped. I'm sure I still get ripped on that board. I used to get ripped, but, whatever. I got some guy, Legend 12, ripping me on a message board.
Well, he's an equal opportunity.
Well, I know who he is. I know who he is. He's a putz.
I got doxxed on Reddit, but they took it down, where he's giving out my phone number and my address, and when I leave for work and when I go.
Why would who would do that?
This guy he started this thing on Reddit.
Is it the guy that used to call in about Trump?
Yeah, and he hates me.
It's that same guy?
I think.
Because remember, he was calling into the station every once in a while.
Yeah.
But he hasn't called in for a while since I've been on the air.
He wants me to leave the station to Tommy.
Okay, but isn't Tommy's not pro-Trump?
No, but he said, why don't Steve retire and leave the station to Tommy? But he doxed me, and he said, here's when he goes to work, here's when he comes home.
Yeah, see, that's
the
right.
That's weird. But why would anyone? No knock on you, but why would anyone care when you go to work?
I don't know.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Why does he think other people? Oh wow, I'm going to go egg Captain Steve's house when he's at work. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it.
No, and I don't get trolls. I don't know why that somebody gets a charge.
Well, I'll give it to Reddit. They took it down. I didn't tell them to take it down or anything.
Is he the same guy that was sending postcards from Cedar Rapids? Remember that stretch?
We're still getting
those. We still get those.
I used to get them at my house.
Yeah.
Remember, I'd bring them in.
I got a couple at the house, but I got...
And he was obsessed with... He called everyone here fat. Yeah. He used to always say that.
Yeah. You're all fat. No, it wasn't Tim
I
DeWhite.
do not consider myself fat. No, this was not Tim DeWhite.
No, he called everybody fat.
Well, that's because you and Tommy were the only ones in here that day. He said you were both fat?
Yeah.
He attacked you.
Yeah, we were trying to talk about...
His solar energy.
His solar energy.
And he was talking about your lack of energy.
He started off like that.
What do you mean? Just hey, you guys are fat. We're not talking.
Here's Tim DeWhite. You guys ever exercise? I said, no. I did. He goes, well, you're both fat. And that's how
good. Thanks for coming in.
And he wouldn't get off of it. I mean,
see, I would have enjoyed that. I would have.
I was laughing.
Did you take calls?
Huh?
Did you take calls? Remember when you had him on and his kid was on with him?
Yeah.
Remember that one? The kid was on during the whole interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I did not happen to hear that interview. So, but
it was a great interview.
But I don't get trolls.
I don't either.
And misinformation. Okay, like the other day, there was some guy wrote an article saying Kevin McGuff resigns at Ohio State, citing 3 different reasons. Okay, The only problem is Kevin McGuff did not resign at Ohio State.
So the guy did that intentionally, just as a fake?
Did that intentionally.
Or he was given bad information?
Did that intentionally because that's what he does, evidently.
Yeah.
Why?
Why can't someone like that get sued?
I don't know.
Because
he's a public figure?
Because it's on the internet.
Okay.
And,
yeah, Kevin McGuff, I mean, he didn't get...
No.
I mean, it was not a good look. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not condoning... But, like a UI athlete gets a one-game suspension for an OWI.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know it's a bad thing. You could argue, well, he's an adult. He should know better. Well,
Probably should.
He probably should, but he didn't.
No.
And someone... I mentioned that, God, I couldn't believe he was that drunk. And the sun was still shining. Somebody got back to me. You realize the sun can still shine till 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, but to be staggering drunk at 8 o'clock at night to where you can barely function, that's, to me, a little jarring.
Well, and to say, okay, count to 54 from 63. He didn't even get to 62.
Yeah. And I could count back that. Even having 5 beers, I could do that.
Yeah,
easily. Now I wouldn't drive after 5 beers.
Come
of course,
in next week with a 6-pack.
But how would I drive home?
Start down.
You guys give me a ride to and from. I'll come in here and drink on the air. Is that legal?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give me a ride to and from. I'll do a 6-pack.
Yeah, that was an old rumor that you can't drink on the air.
You watch by the 4th one, I'll be asleep, or I'll be I'll be even eating the stuff out. I'll be so hungry. I'll
be
eat
6 seconds. You wouldn't have spoken, and I'd have somebody take you out of the room.
Oh man, I could not imagine me drunk with Paul on the air. That could be fun.
Could be fun.
That could be fun. Yeah, I've never been drunk and been on the air before.
Yeah.
Because I would have to drive, and obviously I'm not going to do that.
We've had people interviews. The 2 ladies that came in for NAMI.
Yeah,
they were drunk.
Ago. They were absolutely 7 o'clock in the morning, and they were.
So they drove out here drunk.
Yes.
Well, that ain't good.
And they were smashed.
You should have Did you?
Well, what am I going to do? I
didn't
know they
should have scolded them
drinking.
for driving drunk.
I didn't start. They just came in. I didn't know they were drunk till like the first sentence.
Well, then once you realized they were drunk, you should have said you drove out here, and you should have chastised.
I was
them.
trying to be nice because it was NAMI
But they drove drunk.
Yeah. Tommy, were you with me or was it Hunter?
Did you chastise him, Jim?
They were just.
So where were they drinking at 7 in the morning?
I have no idea.
Maybe it was all they just carried on through the night and just.
It's something. I have no idea, but they were drunk.
Wow, I don't know if I've ever been. Have you ever been drunk at 7 in the morning, Suter?
Years and years and years ago.
I don't think even in my darkest depths, I've been drunk at 7 in the morning.
I don't know.
There were the smallest handful of times.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I just didn't get to bed.
No, that's true. Maybe when I went to bed face first in a pillow at 5 a.m., maybe I still was drunk. Okay, I stand corrected. But I've never gotten up at like 6 in the morning and started drinking. Have you?
No.
I mean, what's the earliest you've drank for a tailgate? Like 10:30, 11?
No, 8:30.
Okay, I guess for an 11 o'clock game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8:30. Yeah.
I mean, I will say, and beers generally taste pretty good to me, but at 8:30 in the morning, they ain't great.
The thought of alcohol before 5 o'clock at night just never. And like I said, I haven't had hard liquor for years, so I don't even remember what that's like. I mean, I do remember what it's like. I just don't need to. I don't need to revisit it. So, but
well, you're probably better off.
I know my couple of buddies of mine make fun of me for drinking light beer, but whatever. I mean, I can still catch a little buzz on 3 or 4 light beers. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need to do shots of wild turkey and chase them with beer. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Beer chasers. You ever done a beer chaser, Suter?
Of course. Of course I have.
I think it's funny people are doing beer chasers because what they're drinking by choice they can't stand without having the beer wash it down.
We had somebody else that came in to interview. I won't, and they reeked a pot, just reeked a pot, and their eyes were.
Did you tell them it was illegal and scold them?
No.
And throw them out?
In fact, I had a beer chaser last year, 2 years ago at the Big Ten Women's Tournament.
Oh,
There's a restaurant across the street from the arena that you order a Bloody Mary and they give you a beer chaser.
I've been to that restaurant. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Since we're on the subject of alcohol, I saw something. Somebody, he was a band member for Guns N' Roses. He said that he drank nothing but hard liquor for 12 straight years. Never had one sip of water. Google that. Google it. It was either Guns N' Roses. Yeah, he was and I'm like, I mean, now of course, isn't there water in even hard liquor?
Well, sure, water is the base.
So yes, it's the base of everything. Yeah. So it's misleading to say he did have water. He would have died. I mean, you can't. But he said he never drank water by itself for 12. All he drank was liquor, and it somehow showed up on my Twitter feed yesterday. Wow. And I think he was with Guns N' Roses. You find anything yet?
I'm looking. I'm looking right now.
And hell with Twitter,
I mean, starting in the morning and going straight through the
Duff
day.
McKagan.
Yeah.
Revealed he didn't drink water for 12 years. He experienced devastating health consequences.
You think?
As a result, he primarily drank alcohol during that time and described his body as failing and his hair falling out. He eventually realized he needed to make a change and began his journey to sobriety.
Well, good for him.
It led to a burst pancreas.
Yikes.
Jesus. No, that ain't good. Hello.
Yeah, you guys are drifting again.
Yeah,
we're what?
We were drifting again. You called once.
You got number 2 in.
You called once. That's the rule.
That's a drive-by right there. He's giggling now.
He got in.
He's giggling. Yeah, one call. You know what he's saying, Captain? One call, my ass.
I am taking you down, Paul. Taking you down.
Does he call Hey Lang?
He should.
You want him to start calling Hey Lang?
Hey Lang. Yeah, hey Molly.
Yeah, I think Molly would benefit from a few. Paul, Tom,
I'm all for it.
So you think Molly would enjoy Paul?
Yeah. I don't know. Molly doesn't
tolerate.
Molly's cut things off pretty quick, I think.
So there's a chance Molly might be mean to Paul.
No, but she might be
dismissive,
abrupt.
Yeah. Well, she is with me, so why wouldn't she be with him?
Okay. But he got that second one in. You weren't expecting that, were you? That one kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was expecting.
Oh, you were?
So Molly's abrupt with you?
No.
I was going to say, this
I remember
the
last time.
Molly's cut me off before.
Well, she's cut me off. The last time I made a music request to her, Message in a Bottle by the Police, she played it, but then she answered right back with Taylor Swift, same song.
Yeah. Well, it's
same
not the
name.
same song.
No, same title. Obviously not not the same song. But that was her way of kind of putting me, acknowledging my request, but also putting me in my place.
And I actually like both songs.
Oh,
so.
I love the Police
I
version.
do too.
I love I don't like hers, but the Police version is lights out. It's great.
Yep.
That's okay.
God, it's already 10:30.
Yeah, that's how
it is. We anything else out there?
Well, let's see. So
baseball tomorrow night at 6 against UCLA,
and then the Fever against the Liberty at noon.
Track and field. Right now they're in between events, but they're building up for the NCAAs, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Of course, Indy 500 Sunday.
Yeah, I don't care.
Coca-Cola 600 Sunday.
We got those. We got those on this station.
I know. I just don't. I mean, I'm not a car racing fan.
Okay, Pat, I'm going to buy you a Texas Fifth of 151 proof rum, and you're going to have to listen to both of the Indy 500, the Coca-Cola 600,
That's
and finish the Texas Fifth.
Yeah.
Could you do it?
No.
1100.
And I can't drink rum. You say rum?
Yeah.
I hate
151 proof rum.
I hate rum. No, like I said, it's been so. I mean, as somebody who's only drank light beer for the last 5.5, 6 years, wouldn't
no water.
Well, I mean, my friends say that basically light beer is water. Don't you say that sort of jokingly too?
No, not
they're
jokingly.
Like, dude, you're drinking water basically.
Well, you're drinking beer that the reason it's light because they add water to it
and take some of the alcohol out.
I mean, it's
yes, but it still gives me a nice little buzz. But I'm guessing that if I drank Crown Royal, it would hit me way, worse than it used to because I don't have a tolerance for it anymore. Isn't that what happens when you quit drinking hard liquor? You lose your tolerance
Rob
for it?
Spiewak, that's what he was drinking every freaking night, and he almost lost his liver, and now he hasn't.
So he was drinking just Crown. He wasn't drinking like beer or anything, just Crown Royal.
Crown Royal.
Yeah.
And lots of it.
Yeah. And yeah.
God, that'd get expensive too. Crown Royal is like $33 for those little.
He was drinking it every night. Now he's.
Oh, I remember putting down my share of Crown Royal, and man, they were hangovers. I never get a hangover from light beer because, like I said, you drink anywhere from 1 to 5. You're not going to get a hangover. You're just going to get bloated and fall asleep.
Honestly, I get full before I get a buzz with like that.
See, I don't. I can still get a buzz after a couple or 3, but you start drinking more than 4 or 5, the buzz doesn't change. All you do is get bloated and tired and hungry.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't need to start drinking hard liquor again, though.
Don't.
I'm saying no.
Yeah, we'll say no.
I'm saying no.
Your pancreas will burst.
And liver, they don't, they're already fighting off that light beer every day.
Yeah.
Here comes another swallow of Miller Lite.
There's some drug that CBS is advertising that good for your liver.
CVS?
CBS.
What do you mean good for your liver?
Yeah, it's good for your liver.
Oh, there's a bunch of products out there
but are they really
cleanse your liver?
Do you think they really do what they say they do?
Probably
maybe they
not.
do. Maybe they do. Who knows?
Probably not.
It's hard to say.
I think so.
So, all right. Anything else?
Your liver's pretty durable, unless you get like a cancer, or you wreck it.
Well, I do think. Don't you think?
It's the only organ it regenerates.
But like my doctors have even said, ideally they said it's even better not to drink any alcohol if you want to be.
Sure.
But they're like, for me to stop drinking hard liquor and only drinking light beer is way better than drinking hard liquor. If you're gonna, that's my only vice now.
Dr. Champion, when I get criticized for drinking Diet Coke, and Dr. Champion, I said, "Is that really bad for me?" He goes, "You're 76."
It's not great for you, but you can do a lot worse than drinking Diet Pop.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
You're 76. How long do you want to live?
I mean, I think
it's not like you're doing fentanyl,
Yeah. A little bit of fentanyl, and
no fentanyl.
No fentanyl.
No.
Okay.
I think we're done.
Well, maybe we're done.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Many thanks to Kalen Walker for joining us, the fastest man in the Big Ten. And coming up shortly will be police reports with Tommy Lang and Captain Steve. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by